This clip from Celebration Express was done in 1989 when we went to Fort Worth, Texas. Now, I was born not far from there in Garland, Texas, and grew up there. And my dad and my grandfather used to shop at Peter's Brothers Hats. Now, they'll make you custom-made hats, anything you want, any style. And they particularly like Western hats. So they said they would make me one. I said, great, I'd really like that old-timey, a real old-timey cowboy hat. And this is what they came up with. Man, look at that. Nobody's going to mess with you with this hat on. Or maybe they would. I think it's more of a work of art than a hat.
This is the stockyard. It used to be called Hell's Half Acre because there were so many rough characters that lived here around the turn of the century. Now, one of the roughest was a gunfighter named Long-Haired Jim. He got in an argument with the owner of this saloon, Luke Short. He called Luke out in the street and squared off with him, and Luke said, "Hold it, Jim, I don't have a gun." He pulled back his jacket to show him he didn't have a gun, and Jim relaxed. About that time, Luke pulled out a pistol and shot Jim through the heart. That was the last gunfight in Fort Worth, Texas. At the time of that last gunfight, Fort Worth was still a cow town. The streets were made of dirt, and you could buy a fine hat for just a couple of bucks. And you might have had that hat made for you right here at Peter Brothers Hat Store.
The Peters Brothers Hat Shop opened up in a shoe shine parlor in downtown Fort Worth back in 1911. It was started by a Greek immigrant named Tom Peters, whose motto is, "Keep your feet warm by wearing a hat." He's made hats for celebrities like Jimmy Stewart, Will Rogers, Dale Robertson, as well as Presidents Lyndon Johnson and Harry Truman. At 99 years old, Tom's seen a lot of heads come and go, and even though he's been a little under the weather, he still took time to show us how to put on a hat.
Now, when you put it on and go to church, you put it on straight like this. Then when you go have a good time, put a bit on the side, see?
Tom has turned over the day-to-day running of the hat shop to his grandson, Joe Peters, who's been around the hat business since he was a kid.
Joe, I'd like to get a Peters Brothers hat. This one's just a rented hat, and it doesn't fit very good. I want to get a real Texas hat.
Well, heads are like thumbprints. They're all different. And you just need the right size and shape hat. Let me show you one of our custom-made Shady Oaks hats.
Okay, well, let's try.
Let's find out what size you wear first.
Okay. No, I believe that's a little small.
How about this one?
No, I believe that's a little...
Well, here's something in between.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Now let's try style, see what kind of thing we can find.
Would you like something in a little bit different color and style?
No, I believe the brim's too small on that one.
Oh, we can fix that.
No, I don't believe that's my style either.
How about this one? That's a bigger brim.
Something not quite so red and a little more cowboy, old-time cowboy.
I got just what you might want.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Can we do it in brown?
Do you want it in brown? In the old days, the hat bodies came in a crown shape like this. Now the manufacturers give us a crown and a brim shape to work with. We still have to put them on a wooden block, steam them, sponge them down with water, and let them dry naturally. When that hat comes off that wooden block, a wrinkled brim like this, to solve that problem, they go into a wooden ring like this. They're covered with canvas, again to allow to dry, and we iron them. Now this hat should be ready. Now we'll go back and trim this hat. Cecilia's already put a grosgrain ribbon on the outside. Now she'll put a black satin lining on the inside to match, along with a leather sweat that's already been measured and cut to the customer's head size. And when she finishes hand sewing that, we'll crease it to the customer's specifications. Now how's that?
Now that's a real Texas hat. The Peters Brothers Hat Shop has been making hats for people for nearly 80 years, and I'm proud to be one of them.
And the good news is the Peters Brothers Hat Store is still going today in Fort Worth, Texas. You can have your own hat like this.